How are you today? Several work philosophies or management models have appeared to improve relationships between manufacturers and distributors. And we can highlight the efficient customer response of the ECR and the category management. What is the efficient customer response? It was first mentioned in '92 in the US, and it came to Europe in '94. It's a joint initiative between the producers and the retailers to work together to reduce the activities that do not add value in the supply chain, and with the final aim of increasing customer satisfaction. The main aspects to point out are, from the supply side of the ECR would be to satisfy the demand, and is focused on reducing the value chain inefficiencies based on the efficient replenishment. On the demand side, we will be talking about the category management. So in the supply chain, we are looking for chain rationalization, stock reduction, time and cost improvements in order management, handling, warehousing, and logistics. And the best practices in this supply side would be the re-engineering of the supply chain and the continuous replenishment processes, that they have the goal of reducing stocks. On the demand area, what we are looking for is to better satisfy the final customer needs. And here is where the category management acts with three main strategies. Would be the efficient assortment that determines the optimum product assortment in a category to satisfy customer needs, is the efficient launches and the efficient promotions. So for example, some years ago in Spain, Procter & Gamble launched with Carrefour the Lays, the famous chips, that they were a category between the chips and the snacks. And the launch was a big success. Why? Because it was a new product. So for Procter & Gamble, it was good to try this new product in the market. And also for Carrefour, because it was a premium product that they could charge much higher, and also it permitted to optimize the shelf, because you could place two boxes of Lays where you can place just one other packet of chips. So what made this category management to arise in the market is mainly the growing proliferation of new products, because managing so many references is really a very difficult task. So that's why it appeared. So in category management, it is fundamental transformation of the buyer role, because it has become now a specialist in logistics, in merchandising, and in trade marketing. It's a collaboration process between the producer and the distributor. So category management is the collaboration process between the producer and the distributor. In this case, a business unit is defined by a category concept. It improves results in terms of value to the customer. And more than a collaboration process, sometimes we could say that it's a micro-marketing tool, or marketing in the point of sale. If we have to define what is a category, we could say that these are products and services that consumers perceive as complementary or substitute in satisfying a specific need. So for example, we could say the breakfast product. If you go to a supermarket, you can find that in the breakfast section, you find coffee, tea, biscuits, cereals. But imagine that we are talking from the trade point of view. We could have, for example, that talking about coffee, for Kraft, for example, coffee is a hot beverage classification, whereas for Nestlé is a breakfast. So now we are going to go to the category management stages. What do we have to do? What aspects are important? First of all, we have to define the category. How the consumer perceives that the products are interrelated or are substitutes. Then we need the category role. What's the priority for the distributor from the consumer's point of view? Then we go into the category assessment. We have to see how many subcategories are going to have, the variety, and we need to make research on consumers, on market, in merchandising, in prices. And we have to be able also to have objectives and to be able to measure the success. So we need to have internal and external measurements. And then we go into the category strategy. What can be? We can define different ones. Can be traffic building, can be a transaction building, or either a profitability, or cash flow generation, or maintaining the share. I mean, there are many strategies. We have to choose one. And once we have the strategy, we go into the tactics. What assortment we are going to use? What's going to be the price? How do I implant? What promotion do I have? And I go then into the implementation. So we establish the strategy, we define the tactics, and then we need to implement. So in that case, we have to assign responsibilities, establish a calendar, and a follow-up. And finally, of course, we need to review the whole category, and the process will start all over again. So see you in the next class, where we will learn to overcome the obstacle and to find out which are the key success factors in this collaborative relationship.